Hello, welcome to the Shaman Energy card readings for January 2025, and just clearing the energetic air for this month of new readings. Some people have been asking about shamanism and also indirectly about Reiki. Just to start off with, shamanism is a very ancient belief system. They found remains of shaman and cave paintings going back hundreds of thousands of years. There are famous cave paintings in France, and there's also been burials uncovered in Europe and in the Middle East. And I will provide some links or some comments to that in the show notes. But shamanism covers a lot of different cultures, mostly indigenous Ainu and Japanese Shinto, and it is an important part of Eskimo, Native American, and Celtic cultures. In Korea, shamanism is considered a folk religion that is distinct from Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. In Tibet, shamanism was eventually replaced by Buddhism in the 9th and 10th centuries, but it came into Tibet in the 7th and 8th centuries, and prior to that, there were basically two types of shaman. A white shaman who dealt with and communicated with beneficial spirits, and black shaman who, as you probably guessed, communicated with negative, evil, and dark spirits. So if you wanted to have your crops and your livestock be well, grow well, and be productive, you would ask for a ceremony from a white shaman. If you, on the other hand, wanted to do something malicious and evil for a neighbor, you would go to a black shaman to cast a spell. And you've got the yin and the yang in that. When Buddhism came into Tibet in the 7th and 8th centuries and eventually became the dominant religion in the 9th and 10th centuries, the Buddhists, as you probably recognize, have saffron robes, and from those saffron robes came yellow shaman. When the Buddhists came into Tibet, they brought reading, writing, study, a monastic lifestyle. They built monasteries and worked with the local population, which brought them into connection with shaman. Shaman who adopted Buddhist teachings as well as continuing to practice shamanism became yellow shaman, and they would use Buddhist terminology, and even wear Buddhist clothing in the as they ministered to their tribes or their villages. Black shaman would not yield to this type of activity or change, and they were persecuted, and that's where we get white, yellow, and black shaman. The reason for bringing this up is that the founder of Reiki, Dr. Usui, studied in Tibet in various monasteries. He learned Sanskrit, and he would read the original Buddhist manuscripts, and from that we get Reiki, which he introduced into Japan in the late 19th century, and then after World War II, many characteristics of Japanese culture became part of modern Western culture, and that's where Reiki comes into play. And there are many different types of Reiki, and I follow the Usui Shaiki Ryo Tibetan Reiki, and of course Tibet, shamans, Buddhism, white shamans, black shamans, yellow shamans. That is where I get my connection, and that is what I'm attuned to. Is ultimately a form of Tibetan shamanism. So let's get on and look at the card readings for the first month of January 2025, and the first week is going to be... Hello and welcome to the Shaman Oracle card reading for the week starting February the 4th, 2025. And this week we're using the Shamanic Medicine Oracle cards by Barbara Makel-John and Flavia Kate Peters. I have shuffled the cards, and I think what we're going to do is, rather than just go with a straight shuffle, we're going to draw a card from within the deck. And these cards are a little bit thick, so let's get this one out. And North, Solitude. What's important about this is the North Star and also the bear. It's a polar bear, and polar bears are very big, very powerful. They live in probably one of the harshest climates on the planet, Antarctica, the Arctic. And they have a lot of energy, and they hunt ferociously. And that is a message for you, for the population, for the general population reading this, watching this video, or listening to the podcast. You have a lot of strength, you have a lot of power, just like the polar bear, and you follow your own star. You don't necessarily follow everybody else, and you don't necessarily follow what people say that you should be doing in terms of work, habits, sports, diet. You follow your own star. And right now, as we're coming into February, we're coming towards the end of the winter, at least in the northern hemisphere, and what is being suggested here is that you take some time for yourself. 2024 was full of lots of change and a lot of things happening, both in personal lives and business lives, and you need some time to recuperate. And by solitude, it could just simply be getting away from people, places, and friendships that are no longer serving you, or no, you don't want them in your life anymore. And the solitude is that time of reflection when you decide whether or not you're going to continue with those people, places, and things. When you're considering the solitude, solitude is about you, but it's also about people, animals, things that you could take with you while you're contemplating in solitude. So don't shut yourself off entirely, but make it known that you want to take a break from people, places, and things which are just simply not serving you, and you need to consider what's going to happen in 2025. And then the shaman, contemplation. A wonderful second card for this reading of solitude. The shaman, the shaman does spend a lot of time in contemplation about nature and the things around him or her that come into their lives. It could be fish in the river. It could be animals. It could be people. It could be problems that are brought to the shaman for healing. But they don't just simply act. They take time. They contemplate, and along with solitude, contemplation and solitude, they go very well together. And the shaman, too, in their spiritual beliefs about nature and the things that are around them, contemplation is a very big part of their life. So spend some time contemplating your life and what is going to happen in the next year, because we have the first full moon of 2025 in the next couple of days. I'm filming this at the end of January, so it's time to spend some time thinking and some peace and quiet. Very good cards for the start of February 2025. Take your time, contemplate, be quiet. So that's a great card reading for the day. Have a great day. Take care. Bye for now.